Hello and welcome to Athena's Creations. I'm Athena Turk, independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator since 2017, and I've got a treat for you tonight. I've got a altered notebook with a coordinating matching Pentel pen and a fun altered little notebook that I'm going to share all the measurements and everything with you and show you just how easy it is to make these. I used to make a lot of these for craft fairs and things like that, and it's really fun and easy to make, and I'm going to show you how to do that. So let's turn the camera down and we'll go ahead and get started. Thank you so much for joining me tonight. Hold on, let's see. There we go. Oops, kind of see a mess here, but let me adjust the camera. There we go. I tried to get the camera as close to my project as possible. Even after doing this for a couple of years, I still fiddle with it. Don't know why that is. Tell me I'm not alone. Okay, so tonight we've got these fun projects, and this one's my design. Basically what I did was I went and got some of those plain notebooks over at the Dollar Tree that looks like this, right? I think they have different kinds. This one, I didn't find any that was ruled. This one's just plain. They probably have them, I just didn't find them. They'll probably have them again for the back to school in a couple of months or whatever. But that's what I'm using to make this altered, really fun notepad, and then this one as well. I think what I want to do is do this one first because it's really easy. You just need a couple of pieces of cardstock and some supplies. You just need some designer paper, and then of course I've got all the measurements that I'm going to share with you. So everybody could use one of these, right? We've got two fun projects for you. And we'll go ahead and get started with this one. And we used to do the altered pens years and years and years ago when I first started. And I finally got the measurements so that we can fit one right inside the barrel. And I'm going to share all of that with you as well. You Are Remarkably Created is the stamp set that we're using. And we're using the, let me see what the name of those are. The rectangles, no, the postage dies that have carried over in the online stores. So let's go ahead and get started. It's really simple. I've done most of the stamping and everything ready. It's just a matter of assembling. And when you come to my Stampin' Up! Workshops that I have at my house, I have all this ready to go, all the supplies ready so that you can just come and stamp and assemble and enjoy each other's company and have a good time. So if you've never been to our Stampin' Up! Workshops, you definitely need to carve out some time and join us. I think you would enjoy it. Hey Dora, thanks so much for joining us tonight. This is that gorgeous paper that's part of that new online exclusive. Let's see if I have the name of it here. It is called the Lovely Garden Designer Series paper. It's absolutely gorgeous paper. I'm not real keen on this back side, but that's okay. Here's all these little pieces of paper, and there's a lot of little pieces of paper. And of course, this beautiful fresh freesia ribbon. So you're going to need a piece of designer series paper. And just be careful if it's directional. Sometimes when I'm cutting, if I'm not paying attention and I miss that, then it kind of looks lopsided. But you need a piece of designer paper that's measured 4 inches by 7 1/4. And we're going to basically walk it back so that it'll cover a little bit of the back. You could make this designer paper a little bit longer if you wanted, or you can make it a little bit shorter. But I just liked it that it wraps it all the way around to the back. Just kind of gives it that extra little. And this is so easy and simple to make. That's why one of the many reasons why I like to choose projects like this, because it is really easy to make. And I'll be sure and post those later for y'all so that you'll have that. And so like I said, I got this one at the Dollar Tree. They have all kinds of, you know, little notebooks and different things like that. And I just used my ruler, although it does say it's 4 by 6. I did want it a little bit extra. So instead of the 6, I did 7 1/4. So basically your designer paper is going to fit right on the top and fold over. But that's what I did. I'll get my ruler out when I get stuff like that if I'm trying to make some fun altered project. So basically I'm just going to line it up like that, because I'm going to walk it back just like that. But I'm going to go ahead and apply some adhesive. And so that is pretty close. I'm holding down one side as let me try that one more time. All right, there we go. I'm going to hold down the one side as I lift up this designer paper, because I want to make sure I get plenty of adhesive. And so that's starting it. And I'm just going to keep adding my adhesive all the way across. Tear and tape works just as fine. You know, basically whatever you've got on hand. Just like that. This is so, so easy. So any notebook or little pad or whatever that you get, sometimes there's some freebies when you go places. They give you stuff. You can get these at any office supply store, online. And then we just use our beautiful designer paper and cover that up. And then I want to make sure there's plenty of adhesive and walk it back nice and tight. Super, super easy. So if you've got some designer paper you're trying to use up, this is a great idea. And you could do this any size, really. And so next, we've got some little tiny pieces here. I wasn't real sure if I was going to layer it with the really soft, fresh freesia, but then I realized I'm going to use the ribbon, so let's go ahead and use this green piece. Kind of looks nice. And really, I hate to cover that up because it's absolutely gorgeous. However, and pardon my puppy, he's about to start barking, I think. The mail lady just came late tonight. And this little piece right here is 4 by 1/2 inch. Tiny little piece. What I want to do before I put this on, I remembered from before when I was putting the original on, I wanted to go ahead and put the ribbon on top, and then I can trim it as we go. And this ribbon, by the way, I'm all thumbs all of a sudden. It is really soft and velvet, but it kind of, I don't know if you can see that, it kind of comes up a little tiny bit there. And it's super soft. It's like a soft velveteen, like felt or something. It's really nice. Now with the paper, I can kind of guide it in between those lines. Like that. And it's okay that it's going over because I'm just going to trim it off. Now for the adhesive, when I use ribbon, I like to use, excuse me, glue dots. So that's what I'm going to use are some glue dots. Just put one right there. Just like that. And I'm going to continue with one more in the middle. And then one more on the very end. Just like that. Super easy. Okay. So next, oops, sorry about that jingle there. Next, I am ready to apply the adhesive. And I'm going to cheat, and I'm going to use this grid as a guide. So I'm using the tiny little dots here and the tiny little dots here to kind of guide me. I normally wouldn't do that, but let's just kind of spot check it. There we go. All right, so now I'm just going to trim that ribbon. Oh, that's right. Those are not my ribbon scissors. There we go. Ribbon scissors to the rescue. Just like that. Just trim it off a little bit. There we go. All right, next. Thought I wrote this down. Here we go. Okay, that's for the pen. I was playing around because I wasn't real sure what decorative piece that I wanted to put on here. Sometimes the simplest things mean the most, and to me that's, you know, when you're giving this away as a gift, that's kind of a nice thing to have. So I started out with a white 3x2, and this was just one of my pieces of extra white paper that I had around. And, you know, I decided upon this one, right? But I was playing around with our monthly paper pumpkin dies that match the January, February, March. No. April, May, and June. So the current die set. And so that would look really, really cute. But this is going to be a gift, so this is what I decided upon. Now this piece right here, I didn't write it down, so let's just measure that real quick. 2 3/4 by 2. So that's a pretty simple measurement. And like I said, I've already done some of the stamping. Save a little bit of time since I'm not very good at figuring out how to edit videos. I figured if I make a mistake, you'll see it. I'm human. And everything is all good. All right, so I'm just going to try to find that nice sweet spot where it's centered. Yay, that looks good. Same thing. Just going to put on here flat. And since this is a notebook that you could use like in your purse, in your car, wherever, I'm not going to put any bling on it. Normally I would put bling on things, but this is one of those. It's a practical gift, so I decided no bling on this one. There we go. And again, that's so, so pretty. I almost hate to cover that butt. Just like that. That's how fast and easy that is. Now for the pen. So this one is, let me show you this one, the measurement first. Hey, Sue, I'm glad you could join us tonight. So for the pen, this piece right here, and I had to fiddle with this a bit to get it to work, but there's a trick and it's super easy. So the measurement is 3 1/4 by 7/8 of an inch. So that's basically 7/8 of an inch is 1/2. So 3 1/4 by 7/8 of an inch. And that's for that RSV pen or RSVP pen. And you can use either side, but again, I think this side is the best. So I'm going to help mold this by starting to roll it. And I'm going to make it as small as I can because it's going to fit in the barrel. And roll it over just like that. In this on the bottom, it comes out. Sorry about that. My puppy is telling me somebody's out there walking on our sidewalk. This was easier when I wasn't live. There we go. Just roll it in there. It'll fit. It doesn't want to fit now, but it will fit. There we go. I keep saying that, and it's but it will go in there, trust me. And let's keep trying. So it's kind of flat, so I'm trying to give it that little bit of air there in the middle. Yay! I mean, I knew it would, but always when I'm live, it's hard to fiddle with it. And so this is small enough, it's just going to fit right in the middle, all the way in, and you just, what do you call it? Screw that back in, and voila. So there's our altered notebooks with the matching coordinating pins. They come in different colors. I actually had a bunch of these left over because I used to do a lot of craft fairs, and I would sell this bundle for probably $5 maybe. You know, it's so much fun to make these for gifts and things. So moving on, we're going to go ahead and go to the second project this evening, which is this one. And I've done a lot of different kinds of notepads like this one. And this one is really, really easy as well to make this one. And honestly, I had made this and set it aside. I was going to show this during the January, February celebration. And I just totally got distracted by all the other new stuff that was coming out that I was playing with that I kind of forgot about it. And when I was cleaning this past weekend, I was like, oh, wait a second, I wanted to share this. So you can use any designer paper that you want, but I actually, use the paper from Celebration, one of the free items, and it's absolutely gorgeous. So so here's the measurements. I'll share those with our group as well a little bit later for this notepad. It's 8 1/4 by 3 1/4, and that's this flirty flamingo piece. Oh, and I didn't score it, so guess what? We're going to score it together, and it's scored at 1 1/2, 2, back 2, which the correct measurement should be 1 7/8. So we're going to score it at 1 1/2, 1 7/8, 5, and 4 7/8. And then the designer paper, it's small pieces. We've got 2 that are 3 by 1 1/4, and then we have a piece of designer series paper that is 3 by 2 7/8, and another designer paper that's measured 3 by 2 5/8. Okay. A little confusing there for a second, but let's go ahead and put all these fun pieces to the side in our little paper, and we use a little Velcro. I got this, one of those craft places. You get like 50 of them, and I don't know, it's like $1 or something. So really easy. And then of course our bling for this one is the Tinsel Gems 4-pack. And we're going to go ahead and do our scoring, and then we will assemble. I absolutely love the Stampin' Up! Trimmer. It's one of my favorites. So I have the cutter at the top, and then I've got the score right here on the bottom. And looks like on the 11-inch side, we're going to score at a 1/2 inch. Let me double check. 1.5. Score. 1 7/8. 5. And 5 3/8. 5.5 back 2. Okay. So basically 4 places that we scored. Make sure I use my bone folder. Be a good idea. Alrighty. And for point of reference, I'm going to have this one right next to us. Yep. Okay. I'm going to do that tiny piece up there at the top. It looks like it's the smallest of all. Yep, that one's going to go at the top. There's lots of different kinds like this one too. So this piece is going to be the long, big piece here. Go ahead and attach that. That does not look right. Oh, that must be for the back. There we go. This one fits better. Yep, that's the one. Again, I'm just looking for that sweet spot. Holding down one side as I add that adhesive. And so that we've got that piece right here. Such beautiful paper. And then our back piece. Oops, there we go. Gonna fit it right in there in between the score lines. And then the easiest part of all is attaching all these pieces. Oops, running out of the ink here. Right there. And in case you've not ever refilled one of these, we'll do that together real quickly, because I've just run out. For a stamp and seal. One of the many reasons why I like to use the stamp and seal is, to me, it's really easy to change it out. This gingerly comes apart, and I need to get my glue guns because I got some glue there. You take the old cartridge out, and then you just, whoops, not supposed to do that, Dina. Put those in just like that. All right. This one I'm going to eyeball, which may or may not be a good idea. And the new ones just roll so easy. I love it. Okay. There's that. Now I want to make sure, better put this one on first. Handmade for you. I actually had some of this pre-stamped ahead of time just to save a little bit of time. And then we're going to get out our little adhesive dots here. And I'm going to put this rough piece. It's very, very sticky. Just going to put it right there. Then the fuzzy piece is going to go right on top. And I did that on purpose so that it would line up. Now that they're open, you're just going to press down, make sure that's all nice and easy, just like that. So yeah, got that at like one of those dollar places. Probably Dollar Tree, I don't even know. Dollar General, something like that. And then we're going to add our bling. Super easy, super fun. Put our little piece right there. Always start in the middle. And then we'll do 2 of these on the side. Just makes it really pretty and shiny. I love that bling. Well, if all else fails, use the putty side. And there is our altered notebook. Or notepad, I guess it's called. And that is our project for this evening. I have meanwhile been playing with a new product that I will hopefully have available to share with you next week. I've been playing with the Cheers and Sips bundle. And I've also been playing around with the Sunrise Sailing bundle or suite. And I don't know which one I'm going to share next week. It may even be a kit from the Kits collection. But I've got lots of fun things that I've been playing with and new designs I'm coming up with and fun folds. And of course, I'm going to share all that with you next time. So we will see you next week at the same time. Happy stamping!